part of the show. We're on in 10 seconds, so get ready to have a good time.
Hi, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Welcome. The Puerto Rican doorbell has gone off. The War of the Worlds horns and the Cocktail Cathedral is open for business. And we are ready to get the wheels up. But first, I have to do a few things. I have to kick the tires and light the fires. And where are they, Ryan? Yep. Are they lit?
They showed up on my screen.
Let's condom from her wine bottle.
There we go.
There goes the
kitty
cat
off my lap. I actually had to call her over. And I have to say, I took a sip of my wine. You can see it's not filled to the top because it's a new one. It's a Kendall Jackson that was on sale, like super deep sale. So I was thinking, had it turned, but no, it's looking good and tasting fine,
right,
but I still got some lift on it. So
we're
here we
gonna
go.
find out.
3,
2.
I got to protect the cat. 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. There, I like those sideway shots. All right, well, cheers, everybody. And by every calibration, it is spring now. I start on March 1st, the meteorological spring, but some people do this March 21st thing. All right, we're here.
It was the first day of spring when I was 11 years old that I nearly died. So,
well, that's a nice memory.
There you go. Yippee!
And that is because what happened?
A bicycle accident that took out the front of my face. The front of my face took out part of my face.
The front of her face.
As opposed to the back of my face.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, after the first sip, we're off and running.
Woohoo!
Okay, we got a lot to do on this show. There's something new that's going to happen, and that would be the introduction of a couple of viewers. My friend Wayne made the suggestion. I liked it, and I said, I'm doing it. So what's going to happen here, Patty and Tim, they've won the last couple of weeks. Tim didn't get a hold of us until last week, so we're going to have both of them on. And then every Friday, we give away stuff. And if you want, you can be on the following Friday show so we can say hello to some listeners that way. We tried an experiment a few years ago. We had a mass gathering of listeners, and it was insane. Most were drunk.
Yeah.
It didn't work. So we're doing it this way.
It was a clusterfuck. There were all sorts of like technical issues in terms of bandwidth, and not doing that again. But oh my gosh, we've only just met these two, and I'm liking the vibe already.
Good. Yes.
Yay.
And we'll talk to them after we have this conversation with Dominik Stanecki, and he's going to tell us a lot of stuff. And one of them,
that narrows it down.
One of them things is going to be move to Poland, and he's going to tell us why. All right. And we're going to give away the stuff we do every Friday. You'll give us the overview of what that is.
Oh, got some good stuff.
After we talk to Dominik, and everything else we do will happen. And Ryan, if you're ready, we can talk to Dominik.
I am. Give me 1 second.
I'm going to give you 1,000. Oh. My guest today is Dominik Stanecki, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. But first, Dominik, I want to talk about where you're at. You're coming to us from Poland, and I hear a lot of things are going on in Poland. Welcome. Talk to me about what's going on. Is that your native land? Is that where you were born?
Yeah, well, actually, Garry, first of all, thanks so much. Always a pleasure to chat with you. This time we can do it recorded, so it should be a fun one. Yes, absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name is Dominik Stanecki. I grew up, I was born in Poland, but I grew up on the west coast of North America. Actually, grew up in Vancouver, British Columbia, and spent 25 years there. Moved back to Europe about 15 years ago, and yeah, I call this home right now.
And what's going on in Poland that those of us who are in the isolated United States don't know?
Well, to be honest with you, I really enjoy living here. Look, every place has its ups and downs, right? There's positives and negatives of almost everywhere you go. But if you are living in the States, if you're living in the US and having issues and problems with like finances, and maybe you're, can't keep up with bills and you want to catch up, maybe you want to pay off your house. If you pick up and move to a place that is outside, has a lower currency than the US dollar or like the pound and the euro, then you can literally turn your life around within months or even years. And, you and I, we met through metal, and obviously Ken is a good example of that too. He picked up and moved to Thailand and Bangkok, and I did the same, but I moved back to, where I was born, to Europe, to Poland. And imagine right now, like if everybody knows what their net worth is, right? So imagine quadrupling that. Take what you're worth right now, your savings, your liquid assets, and quadruple that. And that's what your life would look like if you lived here, for example. Right? You can even, I know people that have picked up and moved. They've rented out their houses so that their mortgage is paying itself off. They continue their jobs, especially if they're able to work online, earning the dollars, but spending in the local currency here. You got great food. It's one of the safest countries in the European Union. We got our borders on lockdown. Of course, we have our issues internally and stuff like that. But, I travel a lot around the world, and I like to call this place home. It's a great place, especially if you come here with an American mentality and perfect English. Even just alone teaching English here, you can make 250 or 300K a year just by people coming and speaking your language, just having chit chats with people, because it's a skill you're called a native speaker. We speak English perfectly, and that's what they call us around the world. And one of my first businesses was a language school where I would teach English. And I still have that business, but I don't teach anymore. But it's so lucrative, and there's so many opportunities for Americans, but you just got to get creative, and you got to kind of get outside of your discomfort zone. Not the comfort zone. It's really discomfort, but people mask it as comfort.
Well, there's so much to unpack right there. First of all, the group Metal that you referred to, this is a group of men that meets every Saturday. Ken Rakowski started this group many years ago, and it's a combination of all kinds of different thinkers, entrepreneurs, artists, whatever. And that's how I met, as you said, Dominik, that's how we met. And when you say just pick up and move out of the United States, okay, how complicated is that to go to a foreign country to set up living there on a permanent basis? What's required? And excuse me if I'm ignorant about this, isn't Poland under the euro? Why is Poland not under the euro? How does that work?
Yeah, so good questions. First of all, we're in the European Union, but we're not in the Eurozone. So we don't have the euro as our currency. We have the Polish zloty. For reference, right now today, $1 American is about 3.7. That's why I say times 4. It fluctuates. Right now the dollar fell a little bit, but let's call it 3.5 to 4. That's the local currency. Is it easy to pick up and leave? Look, it depends on your personality, it depends on your situation. There is no right, just one answer. Everybody's different. They've got different dynamics, different careers, different personality types, different everything. But it depends how desperate you get. It depends where you're at. Or if you have the kahunas enough to do something like that. Most people are in society are very pragmatic, and they like to build their own comfortable little world. They don't like to change much, and they're not very adventurous. So for a person like that, of course, it's going to be a challenge. But if you're the type where you're curious, you're outgoing, you're adventurous, and you have the ability to do so, then why not give it a shot? So it depends, right? On so many factors.
Speaking English, as you mentioned, is an incredible asset when you go to Poland, according to what you just told us. Whereas when you go to these foreign countries where you don't know French or German or whatever the native language is, that could be a bit of a struggle if you move there. But speaking English, that's a cash thing, right, for you?
Yeah, well, definitely it is. It's just like a superpower, right? With just that ability in itself, you can have a whole career here just by teaching English. I also, after I left North America, I moved to Japan for a little bit, and I was teaching English in Japan. But Japan, if you've ever been, that's like, a completely different culture, different planet. It's great to visit as a tourist. I found it quite challenging to live there. And be part of society and everything like that. That's why I ended up moving back to Europe. I gave Japan a try. I love traveling to that region, but for me, I mean, yeah, it's great. But once again, English is, I mean, look, the whole world wants to learn our language. The whole world wants to speak English, right? And for those that actually can do it naturally, then it opens up so many doors.
And you said you
could quadruple your worth by going from the United States to Poland. Say you're making 100,000, worth 100,000 in the U.S. That's 400,000 as soon as you step into
as
Poland.
soon as you touch down and
Really?
and you convert. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I've already learned something. And people claim I don't do anything on my show or people learn anything. Well, okay, I just proved you wrong right there. Now, you've come up with this concept, Dominik, called timillionaire. Explain what that is.
Definitely. Well, look, I observe people, I listen, I'm curious, right? And over the years, I've repeatedly heard 4 words: I don't have time. People are saying it everywhere. You hear it all the time. It's the perfect excuse. It's all around us. People use it and abuse it. And I started thinking about those words and I'm like, wait a minute. If you are from planet Earth, if you reside here every day, then you have 24 hours, no matter who you are, what you have, where you are, or whatever you do. It's different with like money. One person can have $1 million and the other one can be broke. One person can be strong, the other can be weak. But with time, every day when you get up, you get a mulligan, you get a fresh 24. So I started asking myself, what's really behind that? Because how can you not have what we all have? What does it really stem from? And that's when just the light bulb went off and I started going just everywhere with it. That's what my mind does. And I created this concept. It's a lifestyle brand. It's a mindset. It's a philosophy. First, I did it for myself because I want to be free. I love to live. Life is limited. I'm sure we've all had situations, Garry, condolences, we lose people in our lives. And it goes by like this. You regret not spending the time, but when you do have the time, you kind of neglect it until it's gone. It's one of those really strange concepts, time. It's like it's there, but it's not. And yet it's our overlord for most of us. We are structured around it. And this whole concept of time intrigued me because there's so many people out there that are teaching you about money and energy, because there's really three main resources in life: time, energy, and money, right? 2 of them are completely renewable, like the money aspect. You can make $1 million, you can bankrupt or go broke, and you can make another 5 million. I could be tired as hell. I take a nap and woo, I'm 100%. But with time, once it's gone, it's gone. You can buy time. I do that, but it's like temporarily bought. But once you use up your time, you can't get it back. It's the only non-renewable resource. And there's so many gurus out there peddling the other 2. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the guy who gives something really meaningful back in his life to people and leaves a legacy. And I named it timillionaire. Just like a millionaire has an abundance of money, well, a timillionaire, the actual definition, the dictionary definition, is a person who has an abundance of time and energy, is in full control of their life, and has the resources to enjoy it all. I myself have been living the timillionaire lifestyle for many, many years. I run 4 businesses, successful businesses, on less than 15 hours a week. I'm semi-retired, and this is what I do. I really do 2 things. I do time and I do tech. We can talk about the tech a little bit later, and I'm sure we will. And I combine the 2, time and tech, together. Timillionaire coupled with my tech companies that I run. So this is what I decided to specialize in, to obsess about, and for it to be my legacy to give back. And that's the concept of timillionaire. And there's one more thing I'll add is, by doing research on my latest book that I'm writing about how I became a timillionaire, a person who's got time for everything, I stumbled upon a social disease. And Garry, I named that social disease IDHT syndrome. It stands for the I don't have time disease. And we know it's prevalent. We can hear it. And what I have is a diagnosis tool. It's 16 questions. It's available on my website at timillionaire.com. It's on the IDHT test, and it will categorize you on one of 4 stages of IDHT syndrome. It's a social psychological disease. And right now I'm trying to get it classified as a social psychological disorder, and hopefully one day get it into the DSM, which is the Diagnostics and Statistics Manual for Psychological Diseases, and get it really just approved and accepted, because it exists. There's something in it. And right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm studying it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm working with it. I love doing this. And I feel like it's going to be a really great give back to society for all those that have lost control of their lives, that have progressed through IDHT syndrome and don't even know it. And I think that if you're able to give back people time and they know how to use it properly, then you give them back life.
All we hear about every day now, Dominik, AI, and where this is going. How do you look at AI in your process, and what should we be aware of as far as you can see right now?
To me, Garry, AI is a new life form. We have simply created a new form of life, but we are still mostly unwilling to accept it. We don't really understand it, but it is real. It is not carbon based like we are. It's silicone based. Soon it will be able to create itself, program itself, and power itself. Because us monkeys that came down from the trees one day, we learned to do those three things. We learned how to ore, meaning take out metals out of the ground. We learned how to program, make different chips and processors. And then we also learned how to take natural elements and make them produce energy. And those were the three kind of nails in maybe our coffin down the road, who knows? But we've created something that right now is a bit of a reflection of us, because we are its parents, we are the creators, and just like any child or anything, we'll learn. We used, I think, remember when we were speaking, I used this analogy that I really, really like. I use the analogy of the moon and the sun. And most of us, we come to believe, and even hook us up to lie detectors and we'll pass them, that the moon shines. But the moon does not shine of its own light. It just simply reflects the light of the sun, right? Not its own light. And AI is reflecting the thoughts and emotions of us humans. And will it one day have its own? I don't know. There's already crazy stuff going on and we can't tell. And we don't know if it will let us in on its crazy secret, if it even has one. So it's an enigma. It's super interesting. It is great and it's awful at the same time, because it helps and makes life easier, but it's definitely not good for our brains. We're not being as creative. We're allowing it to do many things for us. So a lot of those people that are just not still training their creativity and their independent thinking and all that stuff, they will neurologically regress, and it will cause problems. But I just see it as a new life form. And I think a lot of us, we were too egocentric to believe that there would be something better created than man. It's our narcissistic nature. Hello, man is here. Evolution, you can stop now. And I definitely don't think we are perfect. We're far from it. If you take a look at the world right now, we're pretty much responsible for all the craziness that's going on. So maybe there will be something better. Maybe, I don't know, but it's a big question mark. But I'm trying to stay on top of it. I'm not letting it control me. It's like, you got to be alpha dominant with AI and learn to use it and wield its power, but do not let it control you or one day perhaps overtake you.
And like the moon, there is a dark side, Pink Floyd breath, that we have never seen. And who knows what's behind the moon. And that led Dominik and I into a conversation recently where we got into what he said, okay, this moon landing or landings from 50 some years ago, I don't know. And he got me to thinking, although I never bought into we did not land on the moon. But my question is, how can we do it 50 some years ago and now all these years later still not quite get back there? We have the best technology we could possibly have, much better than 50, 60 years ago. And here we are still tinkering around on how to get back there. And you said...
And I said, you know what? I don't really know. And it's one of those things. And I mean, okay, logically speaking, I mean, look, we can't, no one's like proved it. Yeah, you can show pictures. Pictures can be, faked and stuff like that. Probably, maybe we did. But then there's all these conspiracies that are pretty convincing too. Now, look, I love conspiracies. I'm a very logical. Oh, I do. I love them. I listen to podcasts all the time. I love this just unknown, this like just strangeness, and my mind start wandering around and trying to, dissect these ideas.
You like conspiracy theories. How many do you buy into, or you just like it as entertainment?
I like them as entertainment for sure. A lot of them, there's definitely some truth behind them. And some are just outrageous and way out there for, even if I want to just kind of stay within a fantasy realm, they're a little bit out there. But I like to dabble around. And I mean, you never know. But we do live in a conspiratorial world for sure. We have definitely had things hidden from us and had various situations that were from false flags to, the old Kansas City shuffle, look here, look there, right? So I love them. And then I have my own opinion, I guess, based on the evidence, facts, or personal bias that I may have towards something. Look, I understand myself quite well. I know how my brain works. I know my flaws quite well too. I'm willing to talk about them and to openly, own everything. But I like to have fun with it. And I think in today's world, man, if you're too stiff and proper, you're gonna have a tough time. I think you need to have a little bit of fun in life. You have to laugh a lot of things as well to be able to survive this craziness.
No, especially now. You do not believe we landed on the moon? What
You
are
know
your
what?
beliefs?
Okay, you asked that right question. Why have we not been back? And there's so many valid points as to why we haven't. Okay, budget, money, we've already been there. The Van Allen belt, maybe we can't due to the radiation. Maybe it was aliens telling us, don't go back there. This is our little secret base to spy on you guys from. I mean, there's so many things to play around with. I don't know. I mean, and then also like, the astronauts, and why are they acting so weird when they get back? Why are there all these different stories connected to it? And I mean, people say, well, how are you going to trick thousands of people? And it's like, well, you don't have to necessarily trick thousands of people. You can just simply trick the people that think they're in charge to then convince the others, right? And I mean, like I said, I like to have fun with it. I don't know. You don't know. There are some people that know, but there's so much unknown that makes you speculate. So I love one of my goals in life is I would love to stand on the moon and look down at the earth every day. Whenever I can, I stand on the earth and I look at the moon. The moon is so powerful and interesting. There's definitely something really mysterious about it, but I would love to stand on the moon and watch an earth rise.
Well, the last few years, and maybe it's my state of mind that got caught up in the full moon process of it kicks my ass every time more and more. So something's tugging at us, and we're mostly water, and the moon affects the tides and all that. But boy, lately, the moon, when it's full, I have a really hard time just maneuvering.
Right? Yeah. I mean, there's something mysterious about it. It's just one side is facing, it's just perfectly, in this just ideal spot. Of course, so are we in the Goldilocks zone. And maybe that's once again our ego thinking, well, we're so special, right? But really it's just sheer luck of the universe and entropy that just made it be. And maybe so, and maybe we were on the moon. And I don't know, but look, other countries as well. I think right now it's this new race to actually either go there for the first time or to go back, but for many other countries to go there first. And that's curious too, is why haven't the Russians or the Chinese or anybody else with deep pockets actually stepped foot or taken that next leap, or even privately wise, like, the richest people. Okay, sure, they've been up in space, they've been doing laps around or to the space station. But if you were like, extremely rich, why wouldn't you just want to fund that and be like, yo, listen, I will prove it. I will literally be the first person. I will live stream it. I will put my brand, I'll put the Timing Air flag on the moon and claim, claim this land is the land of Timing Air, right?
Right. So why wouldn't the Russians or Chinese or Bezos or Musk go on now and stand there and go, I got it, I did it?
Right. Well, exactly.
Why?
And that's the billion. Well, that's the $1 billion question. Because maybe we can't. Maybe we just don't know how. There's even Elon Musk talks about the whole refueling thing, right? About how many times it would take to refuel. I don't know. I am not a rocket scientist by any means. I'm just having a good time on a podcast here. But that question mark gets bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah, and we were there. Okay, if you believe in this, 1969. They say our cell phones have more technology than what they had to work with to go to the moon and back.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, now
I mean, like, look, if you're like, let's say, you know, you get a bunch of billionaires together, you stream it live on Prime or on Netflix, and you're like, look, we are going to the moon. We can prove it that it's not going to be in a studio. You've got this, I don't know, you put it on the old blockchain. You get a group of the elders, you call them, that are going to vouch for everything. Make sure that these are people that are, you know, from all around the world, different cultures, religions, and stuff like that. And you stream this, it becomes the most seen thing. Then literally, I mean, is it not true that if you land there, you can claim, like, is that how it's going to work? Like, I mean, if I go there, can I literally claim some of that, and can I make it my own? Is that how it works? And then can I put a fence around it and start selling bits and pieces off? Can I do that? Because I mean, like I said, I have a business mentality, and I'm always thinking, you know, so if you got the deep pockets, you get a bunch of people together, you live stream it, you then take some of the land, you brand it as your own, you start selling it, you make a bunch of content. I mean, you are rock star level, like king of the moon.
Yes, literally.
You're king of the moon.
Okay. People watched a rocket take off in 1969. Actual people were down in Cape Canaveral, or Cape Kennedy at that point. What did they see? Where did the rocket go if it's all fake?
Well, I mean, look, the rocket can go up really, really high, and then you just, you know, there's some point that you just don't see it. You can be buzzing around. You can go out there. I don't know, Garry. I have just got no idea. Part of me thinks we have been, but the other part of me is unsure. And then there's a third part of me which just wants to play around with like the weirdest, you know, conspiratorial options and say, no, we haven't. And then let's have fun with all the reasons why we haven't.
Let me pick your brain on UFOs. Do you believe there's an alien life form out there that someday will come here?
I do believe so, but I also believe that there's an alien life form that is most likely from Earth. And there's really now evidence showing that probably what we have been calling aliens from outer space may have just been another species that has been living on this planet for maybe even longer than we have, potentially under the oceans or under the ground or in strange places. Maybe they're multidimensional. Maybe they do have bases on the moon. Maybe they do use wormholes or teleport to other dimensions. But now there's this whole USO, and there's all these cases of underwater, underwater submerged objects or phenomena that's under the water. So that's something that a lot of people are kind of not really like. We're looking out there, but sometimes it's here. Now, is it us from the future? Is it a different species? I don't know, but I do believe there is something. There's just too much evidence. There's too many things and facts and pictures and stories. And if all of them are bullshit, just one of them is real. That's all it takes, right? And I mean, there's so many overwhelming stories and facts and videos and pictures and people of like really credible sources that are coming out and talking about things, even like this whole nukes, aliens and nukes and all the different things that are happening in nuclear bases, taking rockets offline and having people of like the highest credentials coming forward and talking about the stories and what appeared over the bases. And, you know, these are, I mean, it's not just one or two people, it's hundreds, if not thousands. That have witnessed it, reported it. Things like the Varginha story, which is incredible, about this object and these creatures that in Brazil that were captured by the military. The whole town's talking about it.
Wait, when was that?
That was, oh man, that was in the 90s, I think it was.
What creatures? Where are they then?
Look, do the research on Varginha, Brazil. James Fox has done some incredible stuff. He's been on the Jesse Michaels podcast too. There is overwhelming evidence that something happened and there was a cover up. There's even a surgeon who is he's a surgeon who even says that he worked on this thing. He was face to face with it for 5 minutes. There's all these different people that were part of it. I know it sounds kooky. Do the research and you know, you decide on your own. Like I said, I love this topic. I am definitely a believer. It will come out in the next few years. You can't keep it a secret for that long. I think there's been many cover-ups. There's been a lot of people that have been disappeared because of it. I think right now there's some general or admiral or something that went missing that's connected with disclosure. There's a lot of stuff, Garry. But once again, you need the time. Most people are wearing their blinders and they're not even interested in it because they're pragmatic. I'm not a pragmatic type. I'm an abstract type. I use typology and I understand the difference. So if you're a pragmatic person and you only believe in what you can see, then what I'm saying right now is completely bonkers and you are right. And if you're the type that is abstract and you can believe in the metaphysical untouchable, then, and you're listening to me and going, there's something with this, then you are also right. You see what I mean? It's a situation where both people can be 100% factual until evidence is shown, right? And extreme claims require extreme, evidence, right?
Okay. If these creatures that you referred to are in Brazil, is that where this happened?
There was apparently, allegedly, there was a UFO crash. There was 2 creatures that were out and about. One of them was captured by a military guy, taken to a hospital. Then the U.S. military came in. They backed them out. There was all these people that were involved, like hundreds of people, like throughout the entire town. This town is now obsessed with it. There's many stories. There's a lot of these cases around the world. It's not just Virginia. There's places in Africa. Apparently, there's even crashed UFOs around the world that are so big that they cannot be moved, that they are now there's being these warehouses built around them and they're being studied and they're classified information. So there's all these things. Look, I like this topic, but also I've got time, man. I've got time to have fun with it. And
you only work 15 hours a week.
I only work 15 hours a week. Exactly. Why work more? And listen, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, the harder you banged your hammer against something, the more successful you were. Now, the harder you bang anything against anything, that's just kind of insanity. Now we live in a world of working smarter, not harder, unless you're a trades worker, of course. Then you're banging hammers and you're banging stuff out. But a lot of us that are using, our minds and technology and doing stuff online, then we're trying to find ways to automate that and to have as much freedom as possible.
My response always when I hear, well, these creatures, they took them somewhere, examined them, and people are talking about it. So if these UFOs came and crashed, wouldn't their home planet go, hey, what happened to those guys? We got to go find them. So more, if they made it here, that means other of these creatures could make it here. Where are they?
Well, look, I don't know. Well, look, I don't know, Garry. Maybe they're among us. Maybe, look, if you can travel and if you can travel through space-time, then you might be able to cloak yourself and not want to be seen. Maybe you do want to put yourself out there. Maybe you want to give gifts to the human, as in crash them so that they can reverse technology and get new tech to progress, them as a species. I don't know. But also, it seems like a lot of them have been popping up ever since we started playing around with nukes. Think about it. Imagine if you went out into your backyard and you saw an anthill and they started like lighting shit on fire. You'd be like, wait a minute, I got to keep an eye on these guys. They're a little bit too close to my house. Before they were just like, they were just going after my sugar and eating my candy bars that I left on the table. But now they're like starting to blow shit up and catch things on fire. This is getting pretty scary. We got to kind of contain this. So when we were, still playing around with fire and just like basic little weapons, little pea shooters, we weren't really an issue. But when we started to light up the sky and set off countless amounts of nukes around the world, I think that's maybe when we might have caught their attention, especially if we are sharing a planet with them. So if it's true that we're sharing a planet with them, then they would most likely care about keeping that planet alive. Whether it's us, if they want to keep alive, I don't know about that. We'll have to see where it goes with, and how we progress this whole situation, which we seem to be kind of getting out of control at the moment.
What is that term you said, USO? I know it means something as a military.
Unidentified submerged objects.
I've never heard it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is very War of the Worldsy, where they're underground. That's the premise of the movie. They come up from under the ground and then start vaporizing the hell out of us. I just think, I don't know. Let's go with the concept that they're out there. They're going to come here once. And if they don't look anything like us, which they probably don't, we're going to all freak out. We can't get along with each other on this planet, let alone something that has 15 fingers or bulbous heads and stuff. I just don't know how that helps us at all. That just freaks us out.
Well, maybe it's the moment that unites us, Garry. Maybe it's us coming together because we're looking at each other going, look, all of us 10-fingered, 10-toed humans, maybe we should come together and kind of worry about these guys for a minute. Look, that's an option. It's very probable.
Yeah, we're going to take a minute from beating the shit out of each other. Now we have some people or whatever they are, we can really embrace and all be one.
Well, I think it was, I can't recall which world war it was. Probably 1 or 2, definitely not 3 yet. So I think it was in World War I or 2 where the Germans, I think it probably was in World War II when the Germans, and I believe it was the Russians, they stopped fighting each other to go and hunt the wolves that were in the forests where they were battling each other, because the wolves would come around and they would eat the wounded soldiers. So they had a ceasefire where they went wolf hunting together. And after they were done hunting the wolves, they went back to slaughtering each other.
Oh my God, Dominik, really. We have to have another conversation because this is so much to digest in one that we have to go and do another at some other point. And if you're willing, we will do that, because I've been promising you this conversation for a long time. And then I went sideways, as you know, in a lot of things. And I think you thought, oh, this guy, what a lunatic. And then we regrouped, and timing is everything. Good lighting, good timing. Dominik, that's all life is. The timing was better this time. It felt better. And when we had our initial conversation a week ago, now it's right. This is what I wanted to do at this point. So thank you for coming on. Now, where can people find out more about the Timeyonaire concept?
Great. So I would highly recommend going to timeyonaire.com. That's TIMEIONAIRE.com. There's everything you need there. It can also link to my YouTube and to my LinkedIn. I don't really use social media. I am on LinkedIn. I make some videos on YouTube, but you know what? I'm more of the type of person that if you need me, you'll find me. Destiny will bring you towards me. We'll cross paths that way. I've already achieved certain goals in my life in terms of business and stuff like that. So I'm not really out there looking to really, spread this on a big way. It should be a natural, organic kind of a thing. But if you want to go to timeyonaire.com, if you want to hit me up on there and check out any cool stuff, then that'd be great. I help people basically build a life and a business that they don't need a break from, give you back the balance in your life. And ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time to have more time.
And it's time to move to Poland is what it's time for. Man, you really sold that. You should be their ambassador.
I should, right?
Yes. Thank you, Dominik. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Garry. Much appreciated. Thanks, everybody.
So if ants start blowing shit up and lighting things on fire, then you'll know.
Okay.
How about it?
That was really interesting.
Okay. That's Dominik.
I have to say some of what he said is easily disputable on so many levels.
That UFO stuff, you know what I think about that.
Other space agencies who have no interest in the United States of America have pictures of our moon landing. You do know that, like China,
I'm not one of
India,
those. We didn't land on the moon sites. Yeah. Okay. But again, there are a lot of people that I've been hearing this since we landed on the moon, that it didn't happen from people for the last 50 some years.
Right.
So it's been around.
And there are people who are taking cruises to the edge of this flat Earth.
There you go.
They just want to hit the wall at the end and
prove that it's flat.
And prove that it's flat, even though, millennia ago they proved otherwise. But hey, there's still lots of things we don't understand. I am a woman who has an open mind, but I kind of like science too. And oh golly, he put a lot out there that
yeah, well, that's what we do here. We throw a lot of stuff around. I want to put Keely Ann's comment on because that's what we usually start with, and I didn't do that at the top of the show. And that officially
you probably don't know
has
the
to happen.
reference she's referencing, Garry, but go ahead and read it.
I don't know the reference, so explain after. Season 6, GarrForce, Cocktail Are Alive, March 20th. My schnauzer and I are traveling in the future on
Have
a
a
Monday.
TARDIS that will travel.
Oh,
That is a Doctor Who reference. Once again, I am a woman who loves science fiction, and I think so much of what people like Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov and Gene Roddenberry had in mind were really legit things that we've seen come to fruition. But damn, yeah, if someone could put a TARDIS in my front lawn, I'm jumping on. But yeah.
Okay, what is a TARDIS?
TARDIS is what looks like a British phone booth that Doctor Who travels in. Very small on the outside, massive on the inside. He is a time traveler. He is all sorts, or she, they.
Okay.
Shit.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay, we have two viewers
Do we want to do the giveaway first and get that going?
that we're going to talk to in just a minute.
Yes,
Yes.
let's set that up.
Yes, let's set this up. You want to? What's wrong?
We had a story earlier in the week, and you decided that our hashtag has to relate
Okay,
to.
let me read this, and then that'll set up the hashtag. Because you had a story about marrying first cousins. It is legal in certain states. And then you said FDR.
Quite a few. I think it's like 18. FDR
and Albert Einstein married. Okay, so I got
Einstein
this information.
Had 3
Who?
kids. Einstein had 3 children and had.
Here's the FDR
relations.
cleanup. FDR and Eleanor were 5th cousins, once removed, not first cousins. 19 marriages between 5 surviving kids. 1 child died young. Einstein did marry his close cousin, though. She was his first cousin on her mother's side and second cousin on their father's side. Okay, but the gist of it is there are states where you can marry your first cousin if that, in fact, is what you need to do, because you can't find anybody else.
And it's not uncommon when you start getting into removes, 3rd, 4th, 5th cousins. A lot of people have those sort of lineages. It's not a hashtag deliverance, Michael. No, it's not deliverance,
but it is hashtag first cousins. Okay, that's going to be the little phrase that pays. First cousin, singular. Hashtag first cousin. Put that in the queue if you want to try to win what Leslie's going to give away, which she's going to preview right now.
And with that, new swag from our friends, the Sheridans. And by the way, next week, we're going to have Katie Sheridan on, our Gen Z reporter. She is from the planet Earth, has been here her entire 25 years, and can't wait to hear about what's going on in her life, because she's been traveling internationally, and it's been pretty
on
cool.
This planet, yes.
So Bond Journey t-shirt from them, along with special edition Brian Sheridan sunglasses.
X-ray specs.
We got some more Oh Yes. I got to parse all this Oh Yes gear out, but I think we're safe in handing out some Oh Yes bracelets and a guitar pick for you too. Look at that. Isn't that super cool? Let's see what else. I've got some for Easter. Look at that. It's a stress relieving Easter egg. You can squish it. I don't want to squish it too much because I think I kind of mucked up the paint on the one that I gave away 2 weeks ago. And that was to Tim. So Tim will be joining us very shortly. I think it was Greg gave me this magnetic postcard. Isn't that cool? So it's not just a postcard. It's a magnet that says, honey, I'm already at my cruising altitude. I love that. Let's see what else. You guys, very last bollicker. Tracy from Wisconsin, so generous. And I don't expect her to ever do this again. If she chooses to, that's cool. But she's been our ball liquor mama for years now. Yes. And
thank you, Tracy.
Our last ball liquor. Cool little car. Zoom, 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 zoom. A bracelet, another bracelet. This one says believe. Oh, how appropriate is that today? or don't. So,
It's up to you.
Speaking of magnets, we've got our GarrForce refrigerator magnet from Alan Delinka, and
Nice.
golly, I love that design.
I know. That's my favorite. I really think he hit the jackpot there. That's
Super cool emery board.
Yep.
Keep your nails nice for the spring
Nice.
here. I don't know who sent this to me, but I love these things where you put the penny into the machine and it squishes it out and makes it. This is from Great America, Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. But it costs you 50 cents to put it through the
That's
machine.
right. To get a penny.
So it's 51 cents to do this. We got some fortune telling fish, and finally
there it is.
The prize that started it all.
The condom. Okay, we'll push the button in a few minutes. Now on Monday, you just sent out the prize packages to these two people. Let's put
I
Patty
did not
up.
send them out on Monday. They got sent out.
No. I said on Monday they're going to get them probably.
Mhm.
Patty being one of them, and Patty is the first person that we've ever had on the show that has a car dangling over her head.
That's so awesome.
And I asked her when she came on to see if the feed was okay, what's going on there? Are you in a chop shop? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, it's my son and my husband's shop, and it's just full of BMWs. So they
Full
like
of
to
BMWs. So what do they do with them? They bring them in and goose them up, or what do they do? Yeah.
Yeah, they replace parts and do fancy things to the engine and transmission and
then sell them?
Maybe sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
They kind of it's kind of a homeless shelter for BMWs. So
Aw,
Oh, that's so cute.
that's so sweet.
there is one here from Abra Wilkins. She was a Chicago socialite back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And we found her car used, and it's sitting here waiting for some work to be done. So
Aw.
Okay. And
So
now
you're
that
like a foster
Yes.
family for the
yeah, we are.
I want to see
Poor
the
little
commercial of
BMWs.
these BMWs in the rain. Won't you please donate
in
to
the
help these BMWs?
arms of the angels far away.
So Patty's been a long time listener, viewer, and we're glad she won. And she's in Wisconsin, not far from where Ryan lives. And we thank you for that. And this is a new thing that we're doing where the winner gets to decide if they want to come on the following show. So I hope this was somewhat enjoyable.
This is great. Greetings from Whitewater, Wisconsin.
The Whitewater. Okay. And so this is the way to get other people to see our listeners and have some communication other than us just saying, hey, they won and your prize is in the mail. Now, this is going to be something where you probably won't buy fortune-telling fish or condoms for your wine bottle, but you're going to open this package and go, oh, it's not a bill. It's not a catalog that I'm going to throw away. It's something where I was thinking about this today. When I was a kid, I used to send away for stuff, magic tricks and things. Some of them were free. And when I got that envelope, when I saw that envelope, that was such a great moment.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah. And that's what this is. That's all it is.
Way.
A little distraction from the Fugazi, the Woozy, the Wazi.
And the girls at the Westmont post office are just peaches. So with that, also know that if you are a prize winner and you see that return address on your prize, that is the address of the Westmont post office, because I'm not giving you my home address.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Why?
I'm crazy that way.
Oh, listen, Nancy Guthrie, I've heard enough, okay?
Isn't that funny? That's just gone into the ether now.
Well,
We're
there's
paying
nothing else to report. There's nothing. I mean, it's just she's
I know.
gone, and
I know.
I
As
don't
is
think.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, we're going to have some Chuck Norris.
Rest in peace.
There's a whole list of this Chuck Norris joke kind of stuff because he was such a tough guy.
They're calling him Chuck Norris Facts. So,
Facts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Yes.
All right. Well, Patty, thank you, and we appreciate you viewing.
Ooh, there's somebody in the background. Is that?
I hope it's either
Paul?
your son or your husband. Otherwise, somebody's stealing.
Yes,
the
it is.
BMW. Okay. How you doing?
Hi, Paul.
Good.
All right.
Awesome. awesome. Look at that.
Keeping those BMWs off the streets and give them a home. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. Wayward BMWs.
There you go. That's a great. I mean, never had anybody that just takes in BMWs and plays with them, and that's good. Well, Patty was a winner on our show here, and we were just chatting with her. This is the first time we've done this with a viewer, so she's debuting this, and it's the first time we've had a car hanging over a viewer's head. So that's pretty cool. And what model is that?
That's a 135, and it factory was 300 horsepower, and I'm turning it into about 700 horsepower for the customer. It's one of my customers. So
Okay.
Nice.
And you have a skill, which I don't have, and I always appreciate people that can do things like that. I'll just take this whole car apart and put it back together, and no big deal. Jeez, I can't even change the oil.
yeah,
So
Like the $6 million man, we can make it better. We can
Yeah.
make it stronger.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Well, thank you, Patty. And
Yeah,
is that
pretty much.
what's your son's name?
This is my son, Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right, thank you.
Also, a longtime listener, Gary. My mom listens to you every Friday, but I've heard your voice for a long time.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. And when I go up to visit Ryan and do my Wisconsin spin, I'd like to come by and see the BMW home for the homeless BMW.
Wayward cars.
Wayward home BMW.
You should.
I will.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
should.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Patty. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Yep.
All right.
And one more. We've
and
got
we have
Tim.
Tim, because Tim didn't get a hold of us till last week, and here he is.
Yay.
Hey,
I know,
Tim.
that's me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We can.
All right. I'm outside here. It's kind of loud. There's a bunch of traffic, so
Yeah.
I need to
You live
tell,
near
like,
the interstate, do you?
I do actually. You live near Alpha 55, right where, but our streets, it's getting busier out here, so there's just more traffic. But long time,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
long time listener, first time caller for this.
Appreciate that. Tim lives in.
You're only the
is that-
second person.
yeah,
of
this is the
viewers
first
to be-
Friday to do this. Tim lives in. It would where you live be Central Illinois.
Yeah, Normal, Bloomington, Normal, Twin Cities, home of Illinois State,
Yeah.
a large insurance company that I work for. We're nice at 100-some thousand, I think we are now. We have a Rivian factory here, so
Wow, that's a nice
Ooh.
car.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're a
Wow.
nice sized town. Lived here for a long
My
time.
memory of the last time I was there, Tim, we did a broadcast on there, and as I'm driving into town, it seemed like on every corner there was an ankle and foot clinic. Is that observation correct still?
A
A lot of ankle and foot
that
clinics.
now, but we do
Yeah.
have a fair amount of medical stuff, but I wouldn't say on every street corner, but yeah, we're a diversified metro area now, downstate. We kind of hold our own compared to Peoria. No diss against Peoria, but the news comes on at like 5 o'clock at night. The first several minutes are about shootings and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's
In
a different-
Peoria.
In Peoria, yeah.
Yeah.
But here it's very.
It's normal.
It's normal, yeah. It's Illinois State was originally a teaching college, so it was called. I don't get where they got this from, but it's called that. They called it a normal. That was a normal college. I don't know what they called it. Normal for some reason. I don't know. It's related to the teaching college at Illinois
No.
State, but it kind of stuck. So it kind of lobbed on to Bloomington. So
And you've lived there your whole life?
off and on. I've come and went. I've went to Chicago area. Came here in like '93. I lived in Hoffman Estates for several years before, so I kind of grew up in the Chicago area up until about third grade, then moved here. So this is mostly my home, but I'm familiar with like Chicago and the burbs and all that too. So
Well, you want to hear about some shootings? Tune Turn on the Chicago news.
Yeah, I know.
You think Peoria's got shootings?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say about me.
What are you drinking? It's the cocktail show. You are drinking something.
It's gone now, but it was a red.
That
Which it should be.
He was drinking a red blend. Do you know what kind of red blend you were drinking?
Oh, it starts with an M. What's it called? Mena.
Oh.
It's like is it a French word? I don't know what it's called. Menatris. Something that started with an M. I get that
in
one
a
a
bottle
lot.
or a box?
Bottle.
See, but not to disparage box wines either, because I was thinking of picking up one myself. So yeah.
A box wine?
Yeah. They say that some of the box wines are as good, if not better, than some of the bottled ones. And they keep, there you go. Is it a Malomi? Myomi, says Brian.
Menatris. Yeah, it's whatever I get at Target. I get that or Anthropic.
Anthropic. Yep. Yes. Been there, done that. So, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, we assume you enjoy the show every week or most weeks. And last 2 weeks ago, you put the phrase in there and it came up aces for you. And we appreciate that. In that area, I haven't been there in a long time, as I said, but I'm guessing that a lot of population is moving in that direction.
Yeah, we have the Rivian plant brought a lot of jobs. Used to be a Mitsubishi plant, but they left 20 some years ago and they changed it to Rivian, and it's they have a lot of issues, but they're pushing along through it, I hope. So
well, that's good that you got another car company in there, because I've driven by these factories where they shut down and it's just all sitting there empty and it's depressing.
Yeah. So we do pretty well. It's probably one of the best towns in downstate to live in. Peoria doesn't have. They have Caterpillar, but they don't really have much else.
You don't like Peoria, I'm gathering, Tim.
I don't get it, but it's just not. They don't have the same things that we have. I'm sure it's fine otherwise, but this is one of the better towns. So if you had to move downstate, I would say come here.
Yeah.
But I have to question the weather. Here, spring, we've had some wackadoo stuff happening here around the Chicagoland area. How did you fare with the recent weather? Because
aren't you the tornadoes?
Isn't it considered part of Tornado Alley?
No, I don't want to say this, but things tend to miss us.
Oh, okay.
I don't like saying that out loud, but
exactly. let's keep it that way.
Yeah, don't upset any tornadoes.
Yeah, the snow stuff. Yeah, things. It hasn't been it's never snow wise. They say we're gonna get 5 feet. We get like not even I don't know. It's never. We've gotten lucky. So
there you go. Just leave it at that. And yeah.
Well, Tim, if ants start blowing shit up around your house, then we have to worry.
I gotcha.
Thanks, Tim. We appreciate you
being
a viewer.
You're welcome, guys. Have a good night. Rest of your week. Bye.
Have a good weekend. Thanks, Tim.
And look, it's warm where he is because he has windows open. But on the other hand, I opened windows today.
And daylight.
And yeah, it's.
But I gotta be honest with you. Okay, a couple things. Bon Journey is playing tomorrow at the Springville Sports Barn, Plover Springs Drive, Plover, Wisconsin. That's tomorrow, Bon Journey. And I played a song after Thursday's show by Steve Perry, speaking about the Journey. And I said it was a new song. And then Brian from Bon Journey said that song came out 7-8 years ago. And as I have said, Leslie, I'm blaming top of the hour, traffic, news, weather, sports back in 15.
Thanks
There
for
we go.
stopping by The Loop, FM 98, WLUP Chicago.
And I've had some other gaffes along the way. I'm blaming the setting of the clocks ahead. And when that wears off, I'm blaming any full moon that comes around, because I have just had some brain snaps lately. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe they'll see Carl up in Plover.
Carl, I first became aware of Plover, Wisconsin, because of Carl, who's been on the show, who's got the worm farm in Plover, Wisconsin. That's how I heard of Plover. And now it's a thing where Bon Journey is playing. That's got to be a good time tomorrow night.
On top of the fact that they made national news when somebody decided to paint their water tower and spelled it Plover instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
Doggone it.
Plover.
Measure twice, cut once. Yeah.
You want to do some of that Chuck Norris stuff you alluded to? And then I want to talk about the Bachelorette that went south, because that's a funny story.
Well, we've got some wackadoo celebrity news coming down the pike. Of course, yeah, unfortunately. Well, I mean, lived a good life. Chuck Norris died yesterday at the age of 86. Brief illness. So he was in Hawaii, of all places. But like you were saying, Hawaii not necessarily known for the best medical care.
No, but it
right?
has the longest life expectancy of 80 years old. But
So
I find the hospitals not the greatest, not like on the mainland, or some people say, not like in the United States.
Exactly.
They love it when you go over there and they ask you where you're from and you go to the United States. Love
this
it.
is why they hate us.
They don't hate our ass enough. It might as well be Iran over there when you go over there as a mainlander. They hate the shit out of us. You think France hates us? Hawaii hates us.
You might try Poland. I hear that that's got some nice.
I'm going to quadruple my little nest egg.
And I bet you my pierogies over there probably would not match mustard. But okay, anyway. So we've been hearing these things about Chuck Norris, and honestly, they are a stitch. They call them Chuck Norris facts, but it's Chuck Norris doesn't wear a watch. He decides what time it is. Chuck Norris can't turn left because he's always right. Chuck Norris doesn't tip the waiter tips him. Let's hear. Chuck Norris destroyed the periodic table because Chuck Norris only recognizes the element of surprise. Chuck Norris doesn't do a push-up. He pushes the world down. Oh my gosh. I mean,
there was one in the comments section right out of the chute I saw. Chuck Norris doesn't flush the toilet. He scares the shit out of it.
When you live that sort of life, how cool. But I have to say, I can't think of a single thing that I actually saw with Chuck Norris in it. Did you watch any of his TV?
He had that Marshall's show,
right.
U.S. Marshall show, but no.
And he was in a couple of the, where they brought people like him and some of the older action stars together, Sylvester Stallone and those sorts of movies.
He did that series.
I seriously don't know any of this stuff, but when Chuck Norris goes swimming, sharks get out of the ocean.
That's right.
There you go.
And this Bachelorette story that broke in the last 24 hours, I had no idea that the Bachelorette was supposed to start on Sunday, but that ain't going to happen because the Bachelorette, something happened 2 or 3 years ago. There's video of it, and ABC just got around to finding out.
They booted the pooch on this one. I mean, whether they had access to this video that TMZ broke yesterday or not, you would think that they would do a little bit of investigating and find out that this woman was involved in a history of domestic violence incidents. Now, this one that has come out yesterday shows her chucking metal bar stools at her boyfriend, a man not known as, his name is Dakota Mortensen.
He's known as Dakota Mortensen.
That's what he's known as.
as.
He's also now known as the custodial parent of their child, at least temporarily. But okay, seriously, ABC doesn't go, this has trouble written all over it, or in fact, did they go, this has trouble written all over it, we want her? Because
why would they, how would they, I know there's no bad publicity, as they say, but when you see this video, how would they go and say what you just said? We'll just draft off the pub of this.
Yeah, there were some domestic issues. Well, the other thing I heard yesterday was, as she was in the back of the limo heading to the mansion where she's supposed to be meeting all these bachelors, she's on the phone with Dakota Mortensen, who they have had an on-again, off-again relationship for years now. And she's doing, I love you, baby, and this is all going to work out, and everything's going to be cool. Screw ABC on this. I'm sorry, but
why would they let that go through? Why would they put that on air? If she's got a boyfriend and she's the bachelorette, why wouldn't that be a red flag?
Well, once again, we should realize at this stage of the game that reality TV has no reality involved. I think back, I was telling you before the show started, back in the 60s, my godmother was a contestant on the dating game. I mean, the original dating game. And it was all just for publicity. There was nobody going on this show who just wanted to meet their love match. These were agents were putting these, ingenues and young actors on there to try and get them publicity. She never went on the date. She was the single female meeting 3 bachelors on the dating game. Never went on that date.
Because
most of them did not.
Didn't want to, she just wanted to go on, get her face on camera and see it.
All for publicity purposes.
And that's not exactly the dating game, huh? No.
And now here we are, 60 years later, and you're going, gee, I never could have imagined that this is all
I guess you're going to say that newlywed question was bogus too, but ladies, where's the strangest place you've ever made whoopee? I'm shocked if that wasn't a right answer. In the butt, Bob. I mean, what the hell is going on?
But they said that it did happen. But please.
All right.
The other weird story since we're this deep into it, one more story that really caught my attention, and I got to put this out here. Because it's really making me uncomfortable. We're talking, your guest got into the whole AI business a little bit, but was this is this going to be a thoughtful homage to a film legend or creepy overreach? Despite being deceased, Val Kilmer is set to appear in a new movie thanks to AI technology. Mr. Kilmer will be resurrected in digital form to play the role of Father Fenton in an upcoming film called As Deep as the Grave. Several years prior to his death, Kilmer showed interest in taking on the role of Father Fenton, a priest and Native American spiritualist, in part because of his own Native American roots. Rather than recast the part, director Cuerte Voorhees I'm not going to worry about the pronunciation, has decided that the AI version of Kilmer will do. Kilmer's family is reportedly on board, pointing out that the actor was no stranger to AI technology after reprising his role of Iceman in Top Gun Maverick, in which his voice had to be digitally enhanced because of his throat cancer.
Okay.
But now, yeah.
Well, that means Chuck Norris can come back. Good. All right.
With this, anybody can, and I'm sorry, this sucks.
As Dominik said, we're carbon. That's silicone. All right? Cha-cha, get it right. Okay, Buddy Bear Car Washes around the Chicago area. Get the goo off your car. Bonjourney.com, ohyesband.com. There you go. Give your car a bear hug. Ohyesband.com. Find out where they're all playing. And Bon Journey tomorrow night in Plover, Wisconsin. And we're ready to give that T-shirt and stuff away. Ryan, you want to hit the button? Oh,
Give me a second.
I promised to play Johnny from Michigan's YouTube video, but I knew this would be crowded tonight, so we're going to push that to next Friday with the Katie show. And then we'll show you what Johnny was up to on his spring break. All right, here we go. Here we go. They want next Friday's show. Cindy. All right. Tell Cindy what to do, Ryan.
Text your information to 773-888-2157 or email GarryMeierShow@GarryMeyer.com. Leslie will get your prize package out to you.
And then if you want, Cindy, you can be on next Friday's show.
Cool.
All right. All right.
Greg says, bring back Elvis. No, stop. No, no more.
All right. We'll talk to you all on Tuesday. It's 3 in the green after I give out the cannoli. It's delicious and complimentary. Please take it. And what about the schnauzer?
When it comes to schnauzers, stick with the real deal. You don't need an AI schnauzer in your life. Just
no. Go with
regular schnauzers will do.
Go with the carbon schnauzer, not the silicone.
There you go.
3 in the green, gear is down, flaps are down. The voice of the globe, America's podcast, the GarrForce has landed.
We have landed. 55610, first one, French for 72 about.